Welcome to the Exceptional Sales Leader Podcast with Darren Mitchell. If you're a sales leader looking to take your leadership to a whole new level, then this is the podcast for you. We'll be exploring tips, techniques, and strategies to help you take your leadership to the exceptional level and allow you to enjoy more money, more meaning, and better sales results. G'day, welcome back. Darren Mitchell here, and you're listening to another brand new episode of the Exceptional Sales Leader Podcast, coming to you live from the Macedon Ranges on what I normally say is a beautiful summer's day, Monday the 8th of January, but I would be absolutely telling porky pies if I said it was a beautiful day, because overnight in various parts of Victoria we've had over 100 millimetres of rain. So it is anything but summer conditions. The only thing that might remind us of summer is the temperature is still early to mid-20s, a bit humid, but there is no sunshine. There's lots of cloud and there is lots of rain, and we're expecting another 40 or 50 mils of rain today. So what a better time than now to record the second podcast of the year. Very much looking forward to what 2024 brings us and brings you. So my goal this year is to continue to bring value to you and your team and help you in your quest to become an exceptional sales leader. There'll be lots and lots of guests. I'll be talking about lots of different models, and hoping that you can really make 2024 your most exceptional year, because this is the year to make it. And if you've done the New Year's resolutions, it's only a week away or so before those New Year's resolutions for 99% of the population become a long distant memory. And my view is New Year's resolutions do not work. And what we should be doing, though, is really thinking about what are the key challenges, what are the key opportunities for us this year, and how do we break the year down into tangible actions and tangible behaviours in 90-day chunks. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the fact that 2024 can actually be your most exceptional year, irrespective of what last year brought and irrespective of what the previous year brought. Unfortunately, a lot of people use the previous year as a platform, when I say a platform not for exponential growth, but a platform for almost, if I do the same as I did last year and maybe incrementally improve a little bit, then maybe and hopefully I'll make some change. The unfortunate thing, though, is for the vast majority of people, not just salespeople and not just sales leaders, wish and hope and don't necessarily put in place some tangible strategies and some tactics that are different and do things differently to get a different result. Because as we know, the definition of insanity, which came from the great man Albert Einstein, was doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So when we look at the new year, first and foremost, happy new year. Welcome to 2024. Today is the 8th of January. We've already had one year. Sometimes it feels like 1 year. 1 week of the new year already gone. There's been lots of cricket, and I hope you had some great time over the summer period to rest, recover, recuperate, and really think about what worked in 2023. And then as I recorded that final podcast just before Christmas, what are you going to start doing, stop doing, and continue to do so that 2024 can be your most exceptional year yet. And so with the new year, often it comes with new hopes and new ambitions and new levels of energy. So if you're coming back to work today, and a lot of people are coming back on the 8th of January, I know a few more will be sort of drifting back into the office, back into the mainstream about the 15th, and sometimes people leave it until after Australia Day, being the 26th of January. But if you're back into it right now, I trust that you're going to start the year very, very strongly. And think about this, the slate is clean. And one of the things I want you to start thinking about in January, if you haven't done this planning, is that we can create whatever it is that we want. And if we use 2023 as a platform for exponential growth, and that's the key word, the key phrase, exponential growth in 2024, and decide to make this year your most exceptional year yet, then it just means we've got to think about what are the things we can put in place to give ourselves the opportunity of that happening. Now, for that to happen though, we're going to have to put our thinking caps on, and we're going to have to do some things differently, behave differently, and lead differently. Because if we expect a different result and a better result and a higher result in 2024 without making some changes from what we did in 2023, then we know the outcome. Going back to that quote by Albert Einstein, it is the same. And so when I look at this, I don't look at the whole year in its entirety, because for many people, a whole 12 months is a huge chunk to think about. I know that from my own perspective, and certainly the teams that I work with, we break it down into 90-day chunks or quarter chunks. And the first 90 days are therefore really, really critical. And what they do is they present us with an opportunity to really shape the year. Now, if you get a really fast start, and it doesn't mean that you're going to get all the results in the first 90 days, but what we can do is we can set ourselves up for the future 90 days and the 90 days after that. So the second, third, and sometimes the fourth quarters by what we do and what we put in place in the first 90 days of 2024. So I want to put some things on the table as a challenge for the first 90 days. Now, this is for you as a sales leader, but also if you're a salesperson listening to this right now and thinking about how can I get a fast start? How can I get myself above the threshold, above the competition? How do I really give myself the opportunity of setting my year up to be an exceptional year? Well, there's a number of things I want you to start thinking about that we can implement in the first 90 days. This is by no means a massive list, and you can probably add some things to this list, but these are some things that I do, and there's some things that I share with my clients in the first 90 days of any year to set themselves up for future success. Number one, make quick decisions. Now, this sounds really obvious on the surface, but if I'm really honest, the people that I work with and the teams that I go into, one of the challenges that a lot of sales leaders have and a lot of salespeople have is they are risk averse and they don't tend to make quick decisions. They do a lot of analyzing, they do a lot of pontification, and in some cases they do a lot of navel gazing. And the key difference between people who are exceptional and if I say really successful millionaires, billionaires, they make very quick decisions and they change those decisions quite slowly. People who are not successful, quote unquote, tend to make very slow decisions, so they pontificate too much, and then they tend to change their minds quickly. What we want to get into the habit of doing is making quick decisions, which means we have to back ourselves. So making quick decisions is fundamental. So if it feels good, looks good, just do it, because you got to think about, as John Maxwell keeps saying, is you're either going to win or you're going to learn. It is not about winning and losing. Are you going to make mistakes? Absolutely. Are you going to maybe embarrass yourself? Absolutely. Are you going to potentially cost yourself some opportunities by making quick decisions? Possibly. But what we want to do is get into the habit of making quick decisions, because the more we can do that and the more structure we can put behind those decisions, the more likelihood those decisions over time are going to start to become better and better, which means you're going to be able to make quick decisions and then change it slowly, which means it gives you every opportunity of getting that fast start in the first 90 days. So make quick decisions, number one. Number two, whatever the goal you've got for the first 90 days, double it. Now, this is a really interesting one because most of us have sales targets, and most of us, if you're a salesperson, been in the game for a while, you know that you've never been satisfied with any sales target you've been given. And you're always thinking, oh my God, how are we going to do that? We've just busted our butt to try and get everything in by the end of the financial year or the end of the calendar year. How are we going to try and double our sales goal? How are we even going to get close to the goal that's been set for us in the first 90 days? Well, that is a mindset. That is an attitude. A number of clients I've worked with over the last couple of years, we sat down and we looked at their sales targets, and I started to get them to think about and maybe just contemplate that the sales target they were given was actually a limitation. And this is the way you approach it. Whatever the goal you've got, double it. Now, what that does, it says, you take the lid off what is possible and you stop, because you're going to be making quick decisions, you've now got some creative juices that are starting to flow to think about, okay, not is this goal achievable? You start to think about, how can I actually do this? Now, the interesting thing about all of this, it's not actually the achievement of the goal that's the most important thing. It's the decisions we make and the person we become along the way. And it's what we learn about ourselves and our ability to make those decisions that is the most important thing. Because if you achieve a goal that's really easy to achieve, when you achieve it, it's like, that was okay. You might get a little bit of a pat on the back, and you might give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. But when you achieve a goal that is so far out of your current reality right now, you kind of think about, wow, how can I do that? But then on the other hand, you'll be thinking, well, what if I get close to that? What is it going to mean? How will I feel when I do that? So setting your goal and doubling it is a really important thing, because it forces you to stretch and it forces you to start thinking about the changes you need to do and put in place. They're going to be different from what you did in 2023. So number two, whatever goal you've set for the first 90 days, double it. Now, remember though, it is not about achieving the goal. It is about making progress towards the goal, which links to the third point, which is really critical. Do not be focused on the results. Once a goal has been set, you've got to remove yourself from any pressure of having to achieve that particular outcome. So don't focus on where are you at any particular point of time in the 90 days as related to that particular goal. Just don't focus on the end result. The goal's been set, so it's there. It's not going to change. You know that's the top of the mountain. The next point, which is point number 4, is instead of being focused on that actual result, we need to focus on the progress and the actions and the skill sets that we're putting in place. Now, if you listen to a lot of elite coaching, particularly in the elite sports arena right now, the vast majority of coaches do not talk about the end result. They talk about if we get our game plan right, if we focus on the fundamentals, if we do the daily disciplines really well, the results will take care of themselves. And this is the key to success. And this is the key to really getting yourself a fast start in 2024. If you set a big, hairy, audacious goal, then you set it and you forget it. Now, when I say forget it, it's not out of your mind because you know it's there. You don't focus on it every living moment. And this is where a lot of sales leaders make the grave mistake. They look at the sales target and every single conversation, whether it be a one-on-one or a team-based conversation, a team meeting, they're always focused on where are we right now according to our goal. What we should be doing is setting the goal and saying, guys, this is the goal. We all know that's achievable or we think it's not achievable, whatever the case might be, that's your perception. What we then need to do is start thinking about, okay, what are the things we need to put in place? What are the game plans we need to put in place? What are the processes we need to put in place? And what are the actions and behaviors and mindset we need to have in order to give ourselves an opportunity of getting close to that result? Now, if we focus on the progress and the actions, then we'll get a lot closer than if we just focused on the results. So point number 4, focus on the progress and the action and the skill set. Point number 5 then is be bold. Be bold and take a chance. Now, when I talk about taking chances, these are calculated risks. Now, just remember though, from the outside at least, some people might be looking at what you're doing and think, man, you're taking a lot of risks. That is not what I would be doing. And they might try to convince you to do something else. And that convincing might come from somebody within your own organization or somebody, unfortunately, within your own team. But be bold and take a chance because nothing achieved that was great was ever achieved by being average and by following a known pathway or a pathway that others have followed. Because unless they're getting the results that you actually want to get, then you're going to have to do something different. Because in order to get the results we've never got, we're going to have to do some things that we've never done before in order to give ourselves the opportunity of getting something we've never received before. And so be bold and take a chance, which means you're going to have to take some risks and you're going to have to ask for, in some cases, forgiveness, but also always remember that sometimes you're going to be winning, but sometimes you're going to be learning. So you get feedback along the way. And feedback is a great thing because it tells you whether you're on track or what you need to adjust, which then comes back to the focus on the progress and the action and the skill set they need to maybe change. The other part of this is point number 6 is look to improve every single day. Now, in order to achieve something extraordinary, and certainly when you look at the macro of 2024, if you're looking back now, if this is the 8th of January 2025 and you're looking back and 2024 has been your most exceptional year, then it's not going to happen in one day. There would have been some incremental improvement that has happened over time. It's just like going to the gym. If you go to the gym once or twice a month, you're not going to see a huge amount of progress. But if you go every second day, in some cases every single day, even in the first week or two, you're not going to see a lot of physical changes and a lot of physical adjustments or progress. But over a period of 90 days, you're going to see some significant change, whether it be in terms of your ability to improve your core strength, or your waistline might have improved, muscle mass might have gone up, whatever the case might be. So this comes down to looking to improve every single day. And one of my key philosophies for being exceptional is to look at, okay, what can I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? And what can I seek to learn tomorrow that I didn't learn or didn't know today? So always looking to improve, because exceptional leaders and exceptional performers know that there's always another level to get to. They are never ever satisfied with where they're at and what they're achieving. Point number 7 is find opportunities to serve and to give. Now, in order for us to achieve an exceptional year, we cannot do it on our own. And success is not an island. And I don't care whether you're an individual contributor or you think you're a person that is the lone wolf or the lone ranger. At the end of the day, you're going to have a team around you to help you become successful. And the only way to do that really well is to find opportunities where you can serve others and give. Now, that could be giving of your time, it could be giving of your resources, it could be giving of your capabilities, but look for opportunities to serve. And certainly from a leadership point of view, this is something that we need to be constantly focusing on, is where can I become more of a servant leader? Because remembering, my team are not there to serve me, they are there to be served by me. So I have to enable them to be extraordinary and exceptional in what they do every single day. So I've got to look for opportunities to serve and to give. Point number 8 is, and this is a big one, and one that many people unfortunately don't put enough focus on, and that is to seek a coach or a mentor. This can supercharge your progress and significantly speed up your learning curve. Now, if you think about it, every single elite performer on the planet, when I say elite performer, just take sport, for example. Every single elite sports person has a coach of some sort, and many of them have multiple different coaches. They'll have technique coaches, they'll have mindset coaches, they'll have strength coaches, they'll have nutrition coaches. There's lots and lots of different coaches. So finding somebody, and it could be somebody within your current sphere of reference or your sphere of influence. It could be somebody who is a manager, it could be somebody who is a peer, or it could be somebody that you seek out and you pay to actually then have a relationship with, who can mentor and coach you to help you supercharge those powers and give you every opportunity of getting those first 90 days up and running and creating that exceptional year for 2024. So look for where you can seek a coach or a mentor. Now, this could be a one-on-one relationship we have with somebody, and for example, I coach and I mentor a number of individuals, but also mentor teams and coach teams. But you can listen to things like podcasts, you can read books, you can do courses. There's lots of ways to get coaching and mentoring. But the key thing is look to improve every single day and look for ways you can speed up your progress. And the final point number 9, is no matter what happens, don't stop. 2024 promises to be a phenomenal year, but it also is going to be another challenging year for various different reasons, such as the economy and the uncertainty around that, price of goods and cost of living and all that sort of stuff. Are there going to be challenges this year? 100%. Are there going to be obstacles that you haven't even contemplated right now? 100%. But no matter what, the key thing, and this is the key to becoming exceptional, is you do not stop. It is the constant and never-ending progress towards a worthy ideal, which is what we need to be focused on. So remember, as I finish up this particular podcast, remember that you do not have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. And I can't remember who said that, but it stuck with me for many, many years, and it's a phenomenal saying. You do not have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. So you don't also have to have all the answers before you start either. You will discover the answers on as you progress. So I trust this message finds you at the right time early in January 2024. Here is to a very, very powerful first 90 days of the year. Just remember, be bold, be extraordinary, and through that process you can become exceptional. And as a key reminder, if you'd like to help with all of this, if you'd like to help be fast-tracked towards these goals even quicker, love to have a conversation about how I might be able to help you. You know the drill, go to leadwithdarren.com. Let's jump on Zoom, have a conversation and see whether there's a match. We'll start working on that plan for you as early as this week. So I've got some spaces opening up, so looking forward to that conversation. Thanks once again for plugging into the podcast. I wish you a very happy new year, and let's get into it today. Look forward to sharing with you on the very next episode of the Exceptional Sales Leader Podcast. All the best. Thank you for listening to the Exceptional Sales Leader Podcast. I trust the information in this episode has been helpful in your journey towards becoming exceptional. And remember, please take the time to rate the show, subscribe to the show so other people can find it. But also, if I can help you, jump on my calendar, go to leadwithdarren.com, and let's have a conversation about how I can help you along your journey to being exceptional.